Okay. Hi. I'll be doing some finishing up here. Last time I had to go pretty early. Okay, so let's see what we get if I just run. Spin a state mirror and end of scope. It's really weird. Accepted a statement. Interesting. It's like a sign on that's what I did. Right, so we have identifier up, sign on, name A, value is, what is value? Value is just a value, integer, I mean, should work. Interesting. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to do is, like, actually disable this program from notifying me. That's pretty annoying. Also, when this happens, we return the up, but one parser. Oh, I think what's happening is that I have to read expression. So what if I do read? I guess I'll just do this for now. Okay. So when we have plus plus, right? Plus plus seems to be a problem. So in the line 15, we have this, right? And expects a semicolon basically. Actually don't know. Oh, I think what's happening, yeah. Suppose unary expression was never called by multiplicative expression, which made it never actually be read correctly. Okay. Oh, 5. Um, oh. Yeah, so if R. No for invalid. Let's see what that is. On it. Or 1. 1. Invalid identifier operation. Invalid identifier. Ah, of course. I knew something like that has happened. Okay. Yeah, because that sign was what was causing me some errors. Okay, so we seem to be working. Okay, so for equals and not equals, we just return false here, or rather we do this. False not equals will be true. True. And then we need the breaks. Okay, now this is pretty annoying because it's like I would want to have yet another thing. Okay, so now we want to make the minus minus and plus plus actually work because they don't right now. Let's maybe consider to just remove them because they are pretty complicated. I think JI also omits them. I don't know. We want them. Hello, what's up? Result value. Wait, what? This must be wrong. Just everything in Unary is wrong? I guess. Should really just be an identifier up. But it should be an expression. I think, yeah, I'm just removing them. I don't need them. Not that important. Maybe I'll add them later. Let's just remove them. This runtime is very complicated right now, and it will be like most of this will be ditched in favor of bytecode. But maybe I can reuse some of this code to actually do like optimization work post compilation, but before running. You know, it makes sense. Okay, so this whole thing goes away now, and now this can go away. Okay, Unary. Okay, I actually don't know if Unary like to know something. So much code here. Let's just remove this, maybe. Oh yeah, let's just use this as my okay, yeah, still works. That's cool. Okay, let's add those. Yeah, so and parser. One thing here is I think I can remove this. So this is actually removed. This is working. This is temporary. Yeah. Okay, we'll name this language Kairos with .kai. I think that's gonna be the name, but we'll think about it, so... Iron is a game, I don't want that. And I also don't want a script suffix, because I don't want to be JavaScript or something. So... I also don't really want this to have the performance of a scripting language, and I pre-baked some assumptions to this language, so it's actually fairly fast. And on that note, I actually don't know if I should bother with type any. Should we have it? Might be slow and also error prone, right? Okay. And what I want here is make function call work. Rather, make function literal type instead of specific statement. Sign expression, right? And make function calls work on the literal not a name. And then make functions use the same. Make functions and variables use the same memory space or whatever. Use the same storage maybe, right? I think that works out. And then make functions use scoping that can't be overwritten later in the program, probably restrict to global scope and its own scope. We don't support closure since it's fucking slow. Okay. And make print keyword print one of such, right? I'm pretty sure this is already fixed. So let me test. Yeah, seems to work. Right, yeah. And yeah, before we do async, we need to do this. And actually, we need to go to bytecode fairly quickly. That's why I'm reading the book about it. Because, like, there's no point for me to keep trying, keep writing code that I will later delete anyways. And I feel like it's gonna be a painful realization anyways when we get to it, but it's just so much better to work with bytecode for for a few reasons. One of them is actually async, because we can't do async on AST reasonably, because async can run fine, like the infrastructure for it can run fine if we assume linear execution, and bytecode is just like a string of bytes. And what's up, Beaver? And then the AST is called recursively, and we can't really store that info if we would want to do waits. And yeah, so that's something you need to do. And this operator, by the way, is ternary operator. Like this. Rather, e.g. Let's do it like this. Ternary or tenary? Something like that. Ternary. You know what ternary means? It means to be composed of free or arranged in threes, having the base free or involving free variables. Maybe that's what I should name this language. Ternary. Would be really funny. But no, I think Kairos is probably the best one. I had also wanted Ion or Iovum, but they're both taken. And wanted Ion or Iovum. And they are both taken, and Iovum is also pretty verbose. I guess Kairos is also verbose, but it has a nice extension. And Kairos is like a Greek god or Greek word for opportunate moment. So that actually works out, I think. And as you can see, Kairos is, I guess it's a prison ministry or something, but basically it's nothing major. Like it's mostly unused. And yeah, it's the right, critical, or opportunate moment. So I think that would work out. Okay, let's add the type. I think this stream will also be a short one, like probably do an hour or something, but I'm pretty tired. I need to get some sleep. And I just wasn't able to do stuff before. Okay. So let's do those functions in the parser. Another thing that I should do is do casting. I mean, something that we want is can be casted to, and it would have runtime type A, runtime type B, right? Like this. And this fucking binom switch is a monster already. Yeah, this thing. This is a monster. I would like to cut it down a bit, but I don't know. But I basically need to copy it. And runtime type result. One. Okay. Now what we need is the up. Then here we would say result type runtime type none is the default. I guess let's just return them straight up. Okay, and now we return so now basically for those, we would also just return integer. Okay, so that's easy. And now we would want to say that a type this is actually gonna work on expression, so on statements, I'm sorry, statement. And now if a result type equals the b result type, right? Okay. Okay, and now a result type. Okay. I guess I can convert those two like this, so they actually work together. And now for this, we just say return runtime type integer, right? Integer. Okay. And now we can remove those breaks, we can remove this, and we can say OP, like this. Okay, this was way easier than I expected. Okay, let's also shuffle this back because it looks way better. And this I can actually remove. And now can be casted to is basically if a equals b, then we return true, right? Obviously. Although that's kind of dumb because you don't really cast to itself. But then if a equals runtime type integer and b equals runtime type decimal, then we also return true. And same goes for b and a, right? Do I need this though? I don't know. We'll see. I will mark this as currently unused. Unused, but would want to use it to figure out. I guess that doesn't really, it's not really that useful. I'll remove it for now. And let's do unop type now. So unop is here, unop, and the thing is pretty much the same. It's just way smaller. And here we return. So for both cases of decimal and integer, we just say statement, right? Let's make this static. This a, so anyway, up, and now a result type, right? And this is always an integer as well, like here. Let's compress it. And by default, we just return type. We by default return none because that's invalid. Okay. And now to make use of this, we will say for binary up, new statement equals result type equals binup type left, right, up type, like this, right? And now if result type, we say parser error parser and valid binary operation. Okay. So just like that, and we'll just add it everywhere. Okay. And maybe what I do is static statement make binup. Just say parser. Oh, actually, result of 2 types. So let's move this here. Right. Yeah. Oh, I also removed this unnecessarily. Maybe what I do is I don't care about that as much, and I just say, and binup type, we will just say parser error. Sure, let's pass it the parser. Parser. Okay. Result of 2 types. Yeah, and we are more strict now. Where is this used? It's used nowhere. Okay. Okay, so now we just have to... Oh no, we actually no longer have to error out anywhere. Right, just like that. And now I'm speaking Polish XD. Unary. So now we need unary type. I probably said unop type. And we'll say expression and op type, and also pass the parser, because we also need to error out parser. So yeah, this is basically what static typing will be, because this should not allow a program to have wrong types. That's good. Let's see if we actually had any issues. No, we hadn't. We can program in our own language. That's good. But now if I say xd equals 123 plus a string, right, like this should right now be a compiler error. Yeah. But then we get another error. So what we need to implement now is panic mode. Is what it's called apparently. And what panic mode is pull panic mode. And how it works is when we print an error, we say Panic mode. And now if we are in panic mode, we don't print more errors. And now, after each statement we read, we reset panic mode. So here, read statement, we say we had no panic mode. We still want to know if we had errors, so we don't actually return as invalid script. But what this should now do is that I only have a one and only error. And I would like this to actually encompass the whole thing, but currently it only does like the pref token. But what would be nice is like keep track of all the tokens used in a thing, and then just like mark it like this. But we don't have to do that just yet. And now what I should do is say, so if script has no statements, so if script statements first, this is how we'll do it. Okay. I still need to make the global scope actually be treated uniquely. Okay, and now we don't get junk. But if I were to make another error, we would get them both. Okay, so panic mode works. No longer print stupid errors that don't exist. Just the first one on the statement, which is more sensible. Okay. Okay. So now those are fine. And now, yeah, so I had evaluate functions, but I don't know if I need them. Also don't know if I need casting really. Parser. I already have the promotion rules, they're probably enough. I think that's fine. You only have one promotion rule, and it basically upgrades integers to decimals when necessary. There is something that I do want for casting though, and I think that's worthwhile. Oh, we do have runtime cast, by the way. So what I will do is for assign expression, right? So when we assign a variable, eval value, I would want to runtime cast it to okay, so here I guess let's runtime cast it to runtime cast to our value type. Okay. We'll do the same thing for declare. Runtime cast. Have to move it up. I'll quickly BRB. Okay, I'm back. So Beaver, are you still in the chat? How's stuff going for you anyways? So you did some updates. Oh, you even did one more. It's epic. Okay. So to recap, all work I do on the parser is gonna stay with us, so it's good work. And all work done on the runtime will have to be rewritten, so it's like redundant work, although still can probably learn something here. But a lot of the things will change when I actually have to emit this to bytecode. And the book I'm reading is doing a syncopath compilation, so it doesn't actually generate any intermediate abstract syntax tree node. And I think I will, because that allows me to do like another pass on the representation, and emitting straight to, like, it's way harder to actually optimize bytecode because it's very like a primitive representation, and in AST I can do some work to optimize the code, and also to like probably type check it further, and to like do some other things. And yeah, the other guy is doing like a fully dynamic language with like garbage collection and stuff, and without types. So like without strong type checking, one variable can be many types across his lifetime, and that's not true here. And I'm also not gonna do a garbage collector because it's just not something I think is worth it for performance, although it will be limiting what you can do. Although since this language is not meant to be for writing full programs in it, but just be able to write for the game, right? You won't probably need many types. You will need some enums. That's fine. And I don't know, like if I need to represent entities, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe having like a struct for entity is useful, right? But probably not that useful, because like writing directly to entity is probably not that useful. So all I would probably do is have helper functions for doing some like common stuff. And if you need an entity, you would just have an int like index or something. Or maybe we do entity refs, since that's safer. That's probably fine. That's a 64-bit value, so that would be perfect. And then yeah, arrays is something I'm not sure, because they might be useful, like doing something like, I don't know, units in town or something, right? Would have units, then would have 4 unit in units, do something, right? And it would be like kill unit. Like I don't see. I mean, I don't think I'll allow AI to. Like this would be more like a trigger code, so maybe units in region, my region or something, right? And then 4 unit in units. That's probably fine, but that will just mean I will keep array stack allocated. And I think so. One error currently is that you can return functions, and returning functions is actually a big mistake, because the function, Or is it actually? Because function is still an AST thing, so that's not being free during the allocation. But the biggest problem with that is all the variable scoping. Variable scoping for function calls is currently fucked, and I am not exactly sure how I'll fix it. One thing I could do is enforce global scoping for each function. But I don't know. I would also want you to be able to write functions in any order. Currently, if you do this, right? This is a problem and also a crash. That's a problem. It's fine, we'll do this. Yeah, okay. And now all this code is disabled. Okay, I will keep this as an example code for later. Is that might be useful. I don't think I will do for loops for now. Like, let's see, for loop for decide if we need for loops, and if so, what syntax? Question mark. Okay, so we have enums and okay, so this is done. Yeah, I think what I can do now is say test.chi, right? Let's hope that Windows doesn't recognize that as something stupid. Yeah, chi file. Okay, that's fine. Also considered ion or iovum. So yeah, even if this is not the final name, it's better than nothing, I think. And like the name is not the most important part, anyways. But it's nice to be able to refer it as something, and also that something is something nice. And what's up, CHH Hagen? I guess. Sorry if I butchered it, but yeah, I'm doing a scripting language. For an RTS engine. So Yeah. Let's make this actually run correctly, because now I need this to say test.chi, right? Incorrect binary operation. I don't have correct runtime errors yet. I don't know if my error convention should be with exclamation marks or not. We'll see. I also don't even know. Okay, so what problem do we have now? Hello, updated. Oh, the reason it's invalid probably, I guess, is probably because that, I don't know, actually there's something more. So that is something I want to add, but I started the language before I knew that's possible. So, right now I don't. But this is mostly a dev thing anyways, because, I mean, like, I don't know how useful that is for distribution anyways, because people have to re-download stuff anyways, although I guess you could make the app download the DLL automatically or something. But I think it's very useful to have DLL hot loading for code, if that is what you mean. That really speeds up stuff. I don't have this set up for this project yet, but I eventually want to. It's pretty epic, I think. Okay, so I have some invalid bind. Maybe it's here. I would signify that I fucked. I fucked something with parser. Hmm. Yeah, so we wanted to make our own launcher and also our own website that we would sell it on, but most likely we'll also do Steam, and then like itch.io and Epic probably also, but our first game might be Steam only, or something, just because we might not be able to do the launcher yet and other stuff, and being able to, yeah, if it is Steam, it's automatic. Yeah, so I think that's fine. Uh, we have a mod for Brood War, and yeah, that's a disaster for distribution because we always just get wrong things. I wrote a launcher for that pretty recently, but it's like it's still not the best solution yet because it still requires you to like manually install Brood War, and also it's just a very error prone thing, and we just keep like desyncing in multiplayer because of that. But yeah, I guess you must be a programmer if you're asking about DLOs. Do you make your own game or something? Do you just program recreationally or for a job or something? And I'll try to fix types. So expression. So what that tells me is probably that token identifier is not having an actual result type. Yeah, most things don't have a result type. problematic. Runtime type string, alright. Alright, so for value types, I can just set it to the same thing. Right, and then open parent will just inherit the result type. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is obviously not an AST. Oh, you're an aspirant? So I see. So I guess if you, I may recommend something. I don't know your background or anything, but I would recommend Handmade Hero if you have heard of that. It's pretty cool resource. So yeah, hope that's useful. And yeah, if you need some like programming help, let me know and I'll see what I can do too. Okay, let's see. So this is obviously just result type, value type. Okay, this is result type none. This is whatever, and this is a function call. So what it does is it should have a result type of right, okay, I see. Well, I think it's a bit all over the place, I guess. It's a years old playlist, but there's a lot of things I have learned from it over time. It's a really great resource. I guess a better link actually is this one, because here you actually have a search that you can use, so that's useful. But yeah, I don't know what other resources I can refer you to. I like watching Jonathan Blow. He's useful, nice guy. And I recently started reading Substack of Ryan Fleury. His name? Substack Ryan Fleury. Ryan Fleury. I also by the way have a key. One sec. So yeah, this is one guy, Ryan Fleury, and another guy I watched recently is Alan Webster. Alan Webster, yeah. He wrote this like for Coder Editor, but has some neat stuff too. So hope those help. I don't know what language would you even use though. But I obviously recommend C. C is really good, and it teaches you some great things, basically. And then, like when you learn C, you kind of know what not to do in other languages, as they're full of traps. You can make very bad software in like C++ really easily. So. Parser type scope. Oh, there is function type already. So function type, result type is what I need. Now, if I have function type, I want to set it, right? And otherwise, I want to set the result type of the function type. Oh, that's actually already here. So I'm actually wrong. Okay. So this one works. Okay, result type. And this is variable, and what variable should have is result type of... Oh, it also has result type just here. Oh, actually, I was wrong for a lot of those because they all had the type already set. So why do we have invalid binom? Result type. Let's see. Invalid binary operation here. Right? Oh, this is also unary operation, not binary. What? Did you see that? We didn't get a breakpoint. Even though it printed. Oh, wait. This is not here. This is in the runtime. Invalid binary. It's incorrect. Binary operation. Here. Okay. So why not have a break here or something? I guess I could also default here and do this too. Let's see what's wrong. I do recommend debugging. That's really useful. So if you don't, if you haven't learned that yet, that's like one of the most useful skills ever in programming. Just being able to like step through your code and inspect what's happening. That's also why I prefer statically typed languages. The scripting language is a statically typed one, rather than something like Python where everything is dynamically typed and you just don't know when errors will happen, and it's also harder to debug. It's harder to assume things, I guess. Okay, so we keep breaking here because the binary op is less than or equal to the left value type. Okay, so there's something I wanted to do for when we push. So in parser, I want to add next token like this for error reporting. Okay, and then push statement. I also just want to have a lex token here like this. I've actually just passed a lex token here. Lex token. And here what I think I would want is identifier token. And same thing for push statement. Okay. So you see what I did? I added some errors basically. So I changed some stuff and I added some errors. And you may think errors are bad or you don't want them, but actually they just help you out. Because now I know if I were in Python I would be lost, but here I just know that there's like a red wiggly line that I can get, and it's really useful. Okay, no errors here, and here we'll say parser, lexer, current, I think. Or maybe it would be prev, right? Would it be? I don't remember. No, current is the one, I think. Prev I can just remove, I don't use it at all. Prev. Okay. Okay, and now even if I compile, I see all the errors that I still have to correct. The compiler just tells me what I need to fix. Okay. So for those, for keywords, do I reserve 4? I do, okay. Okay. So for keywords, I will just pass the current token because that should be correct. Right. What it does is accept the speak and then pop and pop tokens. It's the current token to what it used to be, and next is the advance. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I need. Okay. So now here for the scope. Oh, let's just use token. Alright, now let's not have that because that's kind of wasteful. Parser, insert current is what I need. Here we'll have let's use up for this. Up. Okay. The reason I'm doing this, by the way, is so I can have runtime errors. It's gonna be very useful. So here I want parser, lexer, current, okay. Here I want the up. And now here I always just want the token. What I really like about not using, so normally I use a bit of globals because the engine is so big that it's kinda, it would be kinda a mess if I didn't use them at all. Although I think I probably need to cut them down a bit because currently I have like few in total and I probably can just have 1 or 2 or something. But anyways, the thing I like here is that every time I change something and I need to correct it, it's just nicely an error. And I know, and globals don't really give you that. Not to the same level at least. Okay, and now it should be, no? So my program organization is currently a mess because this is a very long project. It's like 2 years in the making. But I just have big files usually. I don't try to chop off stuff prematurely because that makes it really hard to find what you're looking for. And I admit it's already really hard because the amount of files I have is actually pretty large. And but some things need to be its own file. So for example, I have editor code, and the editor code is like split across 2 different files that are not editor, and instead they should just be in the editor file, which I haven't made yet. But you can see that like this file is like 4,000 lines of code, and that's just fine. But there's a lot of things I have to iterate over. The way architecturally this works is I have a game state, which is like calling all the gamey stuff. And then I have game data, which is like loading the definitions of what each thing is. So like tiles, sprites, stuff like that. And then there's like HUD, which just draws the interface. This is another thing that I will have to refactor a lot. This is less organizational. This is more, I basically want to add an auto layouter for HUD because currently, and this is sort of old code at this point, but I can show you, like all the UI stuff, I calculate the sizes for them manually, which is kind of annoying. Or like I divide by 4 here, for example, and then I advance manually. This is pretty annoying. Would rather make it automatic, even if that means the frame of lag. That's fine. That's actually something I read in the Ryan Fury Substack, Flurry. Yeah, and then MTT is just the entity, so units. This is an RTS game. I think I mentioned that, but maybe not. Entity is this big monolithic struct that I have to chop down because it's too big. I also made this attacked union, so this means that I have an enum of enum, which signifies the type, and then I have a union. But this whole struct is really big, and honestly, most things in entity are not shared, so I think I'll just split them by type. I have like a tile set file, I have like a pathfinding file, console, and then there's basic, which is basically like all the helpers. So I have a file for math, I have a file for graphics. All those like filters are a bit weird because graphics could technically be in engine, but it's in basic. Anyways, have like an audio file. Array is like I have templates here, but I really recommend not using templates. Like I said here, templates are gross. Hierarchical structure in terms of what? Files or? If you mean objects, I don't use OOP. I think OOP is gross. But yeah, files, I'll show you. This is just one fucking folder. But what I set up recently is like those filters where I have AI, basic, engine, game, and triggers, like this. But the SRC folder is just everything at once, although I have a lib folder for glue, which actually I don't use anymore. And then I have include for first party. There's the STB library, which I really recommend. And there's some OpenGL stuff that I no longer use. Oh, my includes. So I use this thing that's called the Unity build, and it basically includes everything to one file and compiles that instead of using something else. So it's like more automatic, and it's also actually way faster. Yeah, that's just like Casey, exactly. Although I use the thing that Visual Studio allows. This is in project settings. Yeah, so that's what I use, but I just include what I need to not have compiler errors. I don't do much other. I have like one file that I include everywhere, and that's common. I think it's in basic. Common, yeah. It has some like default includes from CLib, DirectX, Windows, Direct Sound. Some like predefined variables, some like utility functions, type definitions, stuff like that. So this is common file. Another file that is pretty similar is like utility, which also has stuff like that, but it's not actually included everywhere for some reason. Don't remember the reasoning. There's also array. Yeah, so that's about it. I just don't worry about the structure until it becomes a problem, because there's another school of thought where you fix a problem that doesn't exist yet, so you make mistakes along the way. So I don't recommend that. I have seen projects that have hundreds of files, and most of them are like 10 lines of code. And it's really fucking annoying to try to read anything, especially if it has inheritance, because then it's even more mystifying. Unless you hold everything in your head, you just have no way of understanding anything. Okay, let's add runtime errors because they're pretty important. Runtime. Okay, so what I need to pass here is expression. Actually, that's called statement, not expression, statement. Okay. So this is game state CPP. Maybe I was thinking that maybe it should be renamed to game CPP, but this, let me show the main func. So the main func has a bunch of stuff. This is like a loop. So first there's some initialization code. Actually, this all starts in platform. So platform, which I have here, this like initializes like window and stuff, whatever, and then calls this main loop function, which initializes some gaming things, the loading screen, some like constants, loads the game, and then there's the loop, which does netcode, handles packets, peeks all the Windows events, does like some input checking, more input checking, starts UI in the row, it's like sends the turn packet. There's a lot of things. What's up? This is pretty big. The fucking macros I have to clean up because they're unreadable. But that was a lot of debug I had to do for netcode. This is input count. Yeah, so that's how it works. Yeah, but this is a pretty old file, so it's not the most organized for sure. The AI parser is way more sensible to look at IMO. Okay, so this is correct. Main loop is inside of game state, and main is inside of platform. I probably would want to make it so main is inside of game state, or I would probably rename it to game CPP, like you said. And then platform should really just like it should really just allow me give me some functions for like creating windows or whatever, initting it. And the main function being in the game would probably make more sense, I think. This program is this is an RTS engine. I can show you. One sec. I just need to use in game state. I have a bunch of code for testing. So here, there's the AI script test, right? Because I'm working on the AI script. But if I run the game, yeah, this is game dev. I'm making an RTS game, and I also am working on. Oh, I need to correct this. So give me a sec. Okay, so this is an RTS engine, and I'm working for a scripting language for AI and triggers. It took it a while. Normally, the loading time is way shorter. It's like 3 seconds to load it. Anyways, has some AI. The AI is not really good yet. You have like, you can build stuff, you can mine resources, have some pathfinding, although yeah, it's not that great yet. They can like break. And yeah, this is the game. There's an editor. You can like I guess a very exciting thing is you can paint tiles. It's pretty epic. Then stack stuff. You can like it's way better than like for example Broodware. Yeah, it reminds you of Warcraft 2 probably because of the grass. I wouldn't say it's our best asset, but it's I think it's better than using third party assets that we don't own. So yeah. But I really like this cliff, for example. I think it's neat. Uh the building one, and yeah, I think the art for this game is coming along, but it's definitely our like slowest thing. Uh but yeah. It's it's our actual RTS because our main project right now was CMBW, which is like a Brood War mode. And this is an actual game that we're working on, and it's pretty epic, I think. Okay, I'll pause for now. I need to finish this runtime reporting, finish the bug, and I think that's gonna be it for me. It's pretty late for me, and I need to go to bed. Okay, but what I want here is print next token statement token. Okay. Print token 9. I know Python, but I really despise it. But what's the problem? Maybe I can help you out. Oh no, it's fine. You can print it. You can leave your stuff in the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to help you out today, but I guess I can work on it tomorrow if that works for you. Yeah, print you. See, what I'm doing is I'm passing the statement so runtime errors can actually print out more useful debug info because we just saw how we didn't really know where our problem is. Okay, and one other thing here. Okay. I also want to work on making variables and functions one thing and also improving the function called literal. Okay. So it seems like it thinks the variable. So it thinks the variable identifier is the wrong type, so that probably tells me something. So in parser, there's identifier, right? Runtime type, print. So this thing, right? Oh, wait. AppleScript. Yeah, I don't know AppleScript, but it's probably not. It's probably not unusable, right? It seems like a UI programming language or something for doing UI stuff, but iTunes is an Apple thing, I guess, so that's probably their API. Yeah, I mean, seems possible, but it is definitely some work. I'm not really used to doing a lot of Python, but I think you should just join the server, and because people here are actually programming, some people are programming in Python, so maybe someone here would help you, and if not, then I may look at it at some point later. Let me see. So the link is here if you want. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. But for now, I'm gonna work on this and I'll go to bed. So yeah, no problem. See if we can get it done. Yeah, no problem. Okay, let me go to debug again. It says result type is an identifier. So let's see. So let's see the while, right? While loop. So here, right? Parser. Right, let's go here now, right? Okay, and now we do have a type, and this type integer, right? We go. Okay, now logical comparison should tell us. What I'm suspecting is that this. Oh. And this type. No, this type is result type integer, so that should work. Okay. Yeah, so I would ask in that oriented design because that's our programming channel. Okay, so the condition result type is integer, so I don't know what's wrong with that. Okay. So everything works until it doesn't, because in the runtime it says it's in an incorrect binary up. Somehow. Incorrect binary up. Also, I should rename that from incorrect to invalid, because yeah. Have a good night. What is the shortcut for breakpoints? I never remember. Oh, it seems to be F9. Yeah, it is F9. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's useful. Thanks. So see, it affects the left. Interesting. Control F9. Or do you mean control minus? Yeah, I just used the arrow. What did I do? Yeah, I just deleted a bunch of code. Yeah. Although, what is the... Yeah, it's Control Shift minus. I never really liked it. I liked the one... Oh. Wanted to stream earlier, I just wasn't available. And yeah, I'll quickly fix this error and I will actually go bed. So it seems like eval statement, eval. Let's see. So this is defined here, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. I I should have let you know. I just wasn't even thinking about it. I wanted to do the stream anyways because I have a streak going, but most of my day was not really. Yeah, right. It is. So it seems like eval statement for identifier is just wrong. Oh, maybe. No, I don't know. Get variable value. Result type. I honestly don't know. Why is this so broken? Uh, really? Yeah, that might be true. So stupid. I mean, maybe that just means we need to stream together, but I don't really know if that works at this moment because I'm doing Antikythera and you're doing CMBW, so something's really busted here. Okay, let's actually just move. So where's my test? Okay, my test is here. Let's move this up. Right. Yeah, right. For name I don't know. Okay, and no result value is var value, and then it returns. It goes here, and now it says it's runtime type none. But how? So weird. Yeah, it does say none. I think what happens here is when I assign or when I declare, something wrong happens. Oh yeah. I mean, this runtime cause is just wrong. How do I do this? Because I needed to cast to the correct variable. I guess what I need is when I declare the variable, I need a runtime type, right? And now we just need a type here, runtime type. So it doesn't seem like we have started really. Type equals type, and then we cast to the type like this. And now here we just do this instead. param. Okay. Should work now. Okay, we no longer have any errors. Let's do something. So function literal. Yeah. So I talked about it earlier, but basically the parser file, all work done here is really useful and it's gonna stay for long. And anything done in runtime is actually fairly temporary because while still useful for exploration, I'm actually replacing this with bytecode. I think doing that this week probably makes sense. I just need to finish reading that book to make sure I know everything about it. Because currently, I know some things about bytecode, like I know how to like evaluate expressions and stuff like that, but I don't really know how to do variables yet or anything. And yeah, bytecode is for making it faster, and it's also for async because I don't know I can do async without bytecode. And the reason is AST evaluation is recursive, and I can't really pause recursion. And bytecode is just like you read stuff byte by byte and you execute it. So it's really easy to pause it and just wait a few ticks and continue later. So that's why I want to do it as fast as possible, is so we can have correct async and also that the game doesn't come to a halt when we run an AI script. So yeah, I think that's really important. And who knows, maybe we compile this to machine code at some point. That's definitely not in scope for now. But who knows? Maybe one day. Okay, and now what I need to do is I need to make functions variables. And I need to improve the call syntax. That's for tomorrow. So in test.chi rows, I'll say fixed behavior. So funcs. No, funcs are not stack allocated yet. Okay, so that's just lists. And what I need, make sure functions use function iterates of specific. Make functions and variables use the same story. Yeah, okay. So those two subpoints are for tomorrow. Prove value operations to now be so Tismic. And I don't actually remember what I meant by this. I have to be very careful when using Tismic because it can mean anything. I will just delete it, but there's no explicit casting, but I don't know we need it. Really. And I mean, we maybe need it at some point. And yeah. Let's move it down. I don't know what it meant. Did it mean that it wasn't type safe or whatever? I think that's better now. But that point just wasn't very. The bullet point wasn't really very concise and understandable. Okay, so another thing I guess that I want is make sure global scope is treated correctly. disallow non-declarations. And treat the scope. Allow any order declaration to. That's something we want. It's currently Iris is like C, so you can't actually call this function if it's above, and I want to allow it, but I also don't want you. I don't think I want you to. I mean, maybe, but I probably would want you to start in a main function. That way, it's more organized instead of allowing people to just like place stuff anywhere. It's like intertwining function syntax and like function definitions with actual code that runs is a bit confusing, I think. I never really liked it in Python or whatever. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, currently this will not be called because this is after this line. Because the declaration of the function is later and we want to allow it. So that's something to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow. I have to think how to even do it. That might be something that I do for bytecode anyways. Not sure. But yeah, this is it for the stream. So thanks for coming, who was here, and yeah, it was longer than I expected. I thought I would be only able to do 1 hour because I was so sleepy, but I was able to do good work, so that's good. And yeah, I see you tomorrow. Bye.